Did you know there was once a man named John Watkins who was supposedly targeted by an unidentified agency? This isn't the plot of a Hollywood spy thriller. It's the enigmatic tale that unfolded in the life of an ordinary man named John Watkins. Born and raised in the heartland of America, Watkins was as ordinary as they come, until the ordinary turned extraordinary. A series of unusual events began to occur around him, events that couldn't be explained by mere coincidence. His mail was intercepted, his phone tapped, and he was constantly followed by unknown individuals. The peaceful life he once knew was suddenly overshadowed by a shroud of mystery, creating an atmosphere of intrigue around him. But who was John Watkins really? A simple man caught in an elaborate web of deceit? Or was there more to him than meets the eye? As we peel back the layers of time, we find ourselves asking, who was John Watkins and why was he targeted? Born in the late 1800s, John Watkins was an ordinary man living in extraordinary times. As the industrial age was dawning, John was growing up in the heartland of America. His life, much like the lives of his contemporaries, was shaped by the changing times. He was a man of simple pleasures, tending to his small farm during the day, and reading by the lamplight at night. John was an avid reader, devouring anything from the classics to the daily newspaper. His interests were as varied as the books he read: agriculture, philosophy, current events, a reflection perhaps of the multifaceted era he lived in. It was a time of progress and turmoil, of innovation and upheaval. The world was changing rapidly and John Watkins was right in the middle of it all, yet for all his interests and activities, John Watkins led a seemingly unremarkable life. The life of John Watkins was, by all accounts, normal. So why was he the subject of such attention? In the shadows of history, an unidentified agency lurked, one that had taken a peculiar interest in our John Watkins. This agency, as elusive as a whisper in the wind, operated behind the scenes, its actions echoing through the corridors of time. It was a puppet master, pulling the strings of destiny, yet its identity remains as obscure as its motives. The operations of this agency were as complex as they were clandestine. It wove a web of influence that reached far and wide, its tendrils entwining the lives of those it deemed significant. But why was Watkins, a seemingly ordinary man, on their radar? Perhaps it was his uncanny knack for being at the right place at the right time, or his connections to key figures of the era. Whatever the reason, Watkins found himself ensnared in a game of shadows. Theories abound, evidence is scarce, and the truth remains elusive. The agency's motives remain shrouded in mystery, leaving us with more questions than answers. Despite the passage of time, the mystery of John Watkins and the unidentified agency continues to captivate us. The story we've woven together is culled from whispers of history, fragments of truth, and a generous dose of speculation. After immersing ourselves in the chronicles of Watkins, we're left with more questions than answers. Who was John Watkins really? A simple man ensnared in the machinations of a clandestine agency, or a pivotal player in a high-stakes game of intrigue? And the agency, as elusive as a shadow, remains an enigma. Are they puppeteers pulling strings from the dark corners of history, or merely a figment of collective paranoia? This curious tale has fueled countless conspiracy theories and inspired a new generation of historical detectives. It serves as a reminder that history isn't always clear-cut, that the truth often lies hidden, waiting to be unearthed. John Watkins, a man caught in the crosshairs of a shadowy agency, leaves behind a mystery that continues to echo through the annals of history.